Astro Bot is PlayStation's answer to Nintendo's Super Mario franchise, a fun platforming love letter to their respective companies. But does Astro Bot reach the highest of heights that has been reached by games such as Super Mario Galaxy and Odyssey? I'm here to give you my review on one of the most surprising success stories of 2024. The character of Astro Bot first made an appearance in 2013's The Playroom, followed up by a well-received VR game, Astro Bot Rescue Mission, in 2018. Astro's Playroom in 2020 was when the series started to tap into the mainstream. It was a relatively short but very entertaining platformer and tech demo that utilised every aspect of the PS5's DualSense controller. One of the only games to have done so, and now, in 2024, Astro Bot has continued that, making it the only full PlayStation game to truly capitalise on the controller's fantastic features. Astro Bot is a 3D platformer that follows the titular robotic hero through over 80 levels and 6 galaxies on a quest to rescue other bots and reassemble the mothership. Heavily inspired by games of the past, I had a joyous grin on my face remembering my first time jumping into Super Mario Galaxy years ago. Astro Bot brought that same level of enjoyment, and even more so in some parts. I was initially hesitant to buy this game. I'm not a huge fan of platformers and thought my enjoyment would be tainted by that. I was wrong. Astro Bot is Game of the Year material. Some of the most fun I've ever had playing a video game. It doesn't overstay its welcome, and I managed to platinum the game in a little over 10 hours. I still wanted more from it. The gameplay is addictive, the environments are beautiful, and the level design is top tier. The variety in each level reminds me of It Takes Two, another fantastic and compelling platformer that fully deserved its Game of the Year win back in 2021. Astro Bot also features some fantastic boss fights that utilise all the power-ups scattered across the game, and is just another example of the top tier gameplay on show here. Astro Bot is not an especially challenging game, but that's where it sets itself apart. It's not really trying to be. It encourages exploration in each level, with secrets to find, new PlayStation character themed bots to save, and just a general sense of amusement to be had. Astro Bot does sneak in the occasional and intentionally difficult secret level that will test the skills you've learned. These tend to reward players with new bots from franchises such as Metal Gear Solid, Persona, or Resident Evil. Now, this leads me directly into the collectibles. Games love to throw collectibles at players as a way to pad out the game time, but I believe Astro Bot is the perfect example of the very best of collectibles. Rescuing bots and finding puzzle pieces feels rewarding throughout, to the point where the bot collecting becomes the most addicting part of the game. It's incredibly fun to explore each level to complete your bot collection, and the levels are designed in a way where this can be done relatively quickly. Each level is short enough while providing opportunities to speedrun, explore, and take in the sights. I already discussed how good the level design is. Dare I say it's perfect? I can't think of many games, let alone platformers, that have done better in this regard. It's admirable how such a small group of devs at Team Asobi created a platforming masterpiece in so few years. I also quickly want to mention the hub world here. It's small, but it's very entertaining to be able to see and interact with all your rescued bots. It adds to why the collectible hunting in this game is so good. Moving on to the music. Perfection. The music in each world makes it feel alive. Many of the areas feature their own themes, especially the worlds based on classic Nintendo franchises. I won't spoil what those are. And those feature amazing remixes of their respective main themes as well. Everything about the game feels magical, and that shines just as much in its sound design and soundtrack. Time to discuss the story. A simple concept of alien abduction that necessitates the rescuing of bots across 6 different galaxies. Like I said, it's simple, but still manages to pack some emotion in its star-studded finale. It's a game that doesn't need more than that. The gameplay kind of speaks for itself. If you're going into the game thinking you're gonna get a story that's on par with God of War or Red Dead, you'll be obviously disappointed. But you shouldn't be going into the game thinking that anyway. The meat of the game is its gameplay, and like many platformers before it, that is where the game shines and needs to shine the brightest. Now, my only real negative with the game is the following: costumes. I was expecting to be able to dress Astro Bot in the costumes of some of PlayStation's most iconic characters. What I found, however, was very disappointing. The costumes are very limited, only a few are based on PlayStation characters themselves, and you have to play half the game and collect every puzzle piece to that point to even unlock the changing room. Then you have to gamble your coins at the gacha machine, potentially get a new costume each time. My issue here isn't really the collection of puzzle pieces. I've already showcased my enjoyment with the collectible hunting in this game, but the costumes should have been better, and the changing room should have been available way earlier or even from the start. I don't understand why they held back on having every bot costume as an option. Who wouldn't love to run around as Kratos, Nathan Drake, Leon Kennedy, or any other iconic character? It was an odd choice, but it's my only real negative with the game, so. Astro Bot has emerged as the new face of PlayStation and the next potential Game of the Year winner, in a year that I thought was wrapped up with Final Fantasy Rebirth early on. Astro Bot is a 10 out of 10, one of the best gaming experiences I have had in a long while, and I'm excited for more from this franchise. Have you played Astro Bot? And what did you think? What is your game of the year so far? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time.